Hey everybody, I'm Christopher Green. You're watching Green Wave TV, alternative media television. Adam Kokesh has been captured. If you haven't heard by now, and you can visit his website, his Facebook page for updates from the Adam vs. the Man team. Adam was captured at a marijuana rally, a pot-smoking get-together in Philadelphia, and is now being held at a federal prison. He's supposed to meet in front of a judge sometime this afternoon and hopefully released to the public. Now, there's been a lot of ruckus as of late, a lot of critiquing within the mainstream media and the alternative media in regards to an upcoming July 4th rally in Washington, D.C., which Adam Kokesh is spearheading, leading, to use his own words, an armed revolt in Washington, D.C. That is very strong language to be using. Now, of course, if you know anything about D.C.'s gun laws, that is an illegal activity to march with a loaded weapon once you cross the bridge from Virginia to Washington. So what does this mean? Why has Adam Kokesh been arrested? Have the authorities used the pot-smoking rally as an opportunity to detain him under the National Defense Authorization Act before he is able to develop critical mass regarding and organizing the march on July 4th? But what I want to talk about today is not just what is happening to Adam vs. the Man, and he is very much being made a martyr at the moment, which I think is only fueling the fire for more outrage, is getting the people to question more and more what exactly is happening. But it says something very particular about the liberty movement in general, and that is it is growing, and it is growing to a point of critical mass in America today. What does that mean? As I've been saying for much of the past few years, this means that this is a very dangerous time in American history, and we all need to be careful regarding not only who we follow, but the message that we're portraying to the public, to the government, and within the ranks of the peaceful, loving American citizens and American patriots here in the United States and around the world. Is an armed march the best approach? Are breaking laws the best approach on July 4th? And also, we also need to think about the motivations and the inherent motivation behind the leadership that is engaging in this kind of action, in this physical confrontation with the state. And I'm not even really giving you a whole lot of my opinion here, because I want you to personally think about this. I want you to think for yourself. You know, if it's like your mom tells you, if a friend of yours jumps off a bridge, does that mean that you're going to go and follow him because you think that that's a good idea? No, you should think independently. You should think for yourself. That's the beauty of the libertarian mindset. That's the beauty of liberty in general. Thinking for yourself, making your own decisions, worshiping your own God or not a God, being able to think critically, being able to put into your body, which Adam has been fighting for very passionately for pretty much all of his career, for you to make that choice, which is a very nonviolent choice. What we've seen from the video footage with Adam is we appear to see what seems to be violence, where he has his hands up and he's basically, outside of verbalizing his First Amendment right, is not physically agitating the authorities. But again, are the authorities using this as an opportunity to quell the critical mass that is developing and is soon to develop in Washington, D.C. on July 4th? I also want you to think about leadership in the past. You know, when Gandhi was trying to achieve his objectives, how did he do it? And what were the effective methods that he used to achieve the desired outcome and the desired result? Did Gandhi march armed? If you know the history, you know that Gandhi didn't lead an armed revolt or an armed march. He led a peaceful protest of critical mass, which ultimately accomplished his objective. And the objective, and that's a key point and a key level of importance, not his objective, but the objective of the movement and the message in general of creating social change. And what I really want to stress, and what I am trying to stress in today's video, is that we need to think critically about what the best approach is to affecting the social change that we desire in a peaceful way. And, at a point of critical mass and at a point of danger, and what this proves, the fact that Adam Kokesh has been arrested and that there is so much media attention around this, only proves and showcases that this movement is growing and that the state is very fearful of the liberty and patriot movement itself. We've been telling you this now for several years. What this also means is that we need to tread water very carefully here. And just because, again, your friend decides to go jump off a bridge doesn't necessarily make it a good idea. What are Adam Kokesh's motivations? Now, I don't know Adam Kokesh that well. I've had him on the show. I've interviewed him a few times. My gut instinct is that he is mostly a passionate guy. He is a passionate guy that gives a shit about the Second Amendment, personal liberty, and I don't think that anybody can argue with that. That to me is abundantly and obviously apparent. But also, where is he personally at this point of time in history and his career that could perhaps be motivating him to push the envelope to a certain regard with an armed revolt, with these very public outbursts, with the rally that he just attended, which is something that honestly I was thinking of when I first watched the video. If you're organizing something this controversial, an armed revolt, again, that's what Adam Kokesh, that's his own words. Why would you put yourself in a vulnerable, if not stupid position a month or two leading up to that at a rally that is pretty insignificant compared to the one that you'll be leading allegedly in Washington, D.C.? Is this a part of the motivation behind it? Is the objective to martyr yourself to gain even more critical mass in a WikiLeaks format? And that's something that I want you and all of us to think about. But most importantly, what is the best approach to achieving the desired outcome and the political objective of the liberty and freedom movement itself? I have never personally once endorsed violence in any way. I think that that is a stupid, idiotic idea. I think that we, and the movement in general, is about peace. It is about personal, individual liberty. It's about the founding principles of our country. It is about the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, everything that our forefathers have bled and died for. Many of our friends and family and grandparents and great-grandparents in World War I, World War II, Vietnam, the Korean War, all the way back 230 plus years to the American Revolution. These people and everybody that has died and given their lives to this cause deserves a well thought out and meaningful approach to not just protecting liberty, but preserving liberty into something that is actually sustainable and isn't viewed as an antagonistic approach or isn't readily and easily scapegoated by the mainstream media or the state or our government and perceived and relayed to the mainstream and to the American people as a violent extremist movement. Again, because nothing about this movement, nothing about the liberty movement in and of itself, in my opinion, breeds violence or has violence as a message at all. It is very much a message of peace. I think akin to the message of peace and individual pursuit of liberty and freedom that Gandhi led. And I think we need to look at history, and we also need to learn from those social agitators that have the most positive influence and positive effect long term in terms of breeding sustainability to a movement that is worth fighting for. If you want to support Adam Kokesh, Adam vs. the Man, please check out his Facebook page. You can contact his associates at adamversetheman.com. I'm Christopher Green. As always, get this video out everywhere you can. Spread it on your social media platforms around the world. Hard hitting and in your face.